Welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by W.GG and Eldridge Air Conditioning. And we are here with the League 3 guys in our Sunday Championship. We are just north of Georgia at Road Atlanta, stuck out in the middle of nowhere really. And we're here for race 2. And as you can see, the light has completely gone and, well, it's very dark out there. The guys have been fed and watered, and they're all back in the cars and ready and raring to go. So it's a bit of a sort of a mixed up reverse half grid type thing. We're not going to try and get too deep into all of that. We're just going to go down the grid, tell you where everybody is, and then we'll get this race started, shall we? So on pole position is DB, Viking is second, Phaser is third, Thingamajig is fourth, Dizzy Rip fifth, Enzo Jack is 6th, Aussie Rooster 7th, Pete is 8th, Bazza 9th, Frowny 10th, Scott 11th, and winner of race 1, Harry Poppins, is now all the way down in 12th. Back up to the top, there is going to be a pit stop in this race, mandatory pit stop, and it is medium and hard tyres have to be used for a minimum of 2 laps. So it's going to be interesting, a bit of tactics in this one. Got to keep your eye on the fuel as well. I'll get the right camera angle and we shall get these guys underway, shall we? We'll have a look at the tyres as we go along. DB on the mediums. The guys can use them in any order as long as you do a minimum of 2 laps on each of those compounds. So down to turn 1 we go then. DB leads us in there, closely followed by Viking. Viking already having a look at the inside, and well, he gets that done quite easy, didn't he? So Viking now moves up into P1. He is on the hard tyres though, so he's going to have to be careful. You've got to get some heat in there. It's going to take about 2-3 laps to get those tyres up to temperature, but Viking will be looking for a better race this time around. And it is all very congested behind him. In P2 is DB, but he's already picked up half a second. Thingamajig in third. So he'll have a bit of a smile on his face knowing that DB's got to serve that half a second penalty. Thingamajig on the hard tyres as well. Then we've got Enzo Jack, also on the hards. Aussie Rooster on the medium tyres, sitting in 5th, so he's going to go a lot further into this race. As you see, DB starting to slow down. Phaser already picked up a penalty as well. He's on the hard tyres, so he's serving his penalty as well. And while I'm on Phaser, I just want to say thank you very much to Phaser for sharing these races so that we can bring them to you. And I love the livery, especially the back window from Phaser. Let's have a look at this back window. Yes, that looks glorious. So Phaser is my favourite driver, and we want Phaser to win. Not that I'm biased or anything, but yeah, well done Phaser. He gets 10 out of 10 for livery anyway. That's Phaser in 10th. DB now all the way down into 11th, having started on pole with Dizzy Rip in 12th. Now remember, the guys on the hard tyres only have to do 2 laps, and then they can get onto the mediums if they wish. They can go a bit further if they want. The guys on the medium tyres, well, they can pit whenever they want, but they'll probably go as far as those tyres or fuel will allow them. The medium runners obviously will try and get a big gap between themselves and the rest of the field, and that is what Viking's trying to do, although he is on the hard tyres, so he's having an absolute storming race. Is Viking out in front, looking comfortable, and he's on the hard tyres as well. So yeah, this is a great race from Viking. It'd be interesting to see how far he takes those tyres actually. Thingamajig is still in second. He's on hards as well. So same thing, although he is coming under attack now from Enzo Jack. Enzo Jack goes through. Enzo, he's also on the hard tyres as they come down into the chicane, and it's too wide. Thingamajig and Enzo Jack. Enzo Jack just coming out ahead of Thingamajig. Some great racing there though. Oh, now then, what happened to Thingamajig? He's got lost. The sat nav broke at the wrong time for Thingamajig. Let's just have a look and see what happened there. That was a great racing as well through the chicane. You can see he's on the inside. We've got Enzo Jack putting the challenge in. Now there was a bit of a touch between them, I think, there just as they went into the entry, but it all clean coming out. But then I'm not sure what happened. Thingamajig just sort of got lost and took a wrong turn. Back on the track now though, and as we saw go flying through them was Harry Poppins. Harry Poppins actually started at the back. We're on lap 3, just started lap 3, and Harry Poppins is already up to P5 now. We did see some guys coming into the pit, so Enzo, Frowley, Scott and Dizzy Rip all into the pits, all on hard tyres, so they're going to get some new boots on that car, a bit of fuel, and they will be away. Viking has stayed out though, so he's decided he's going to take them hard tyres just that little bit further, and why not? He's out in front, and he's looking comfortable at the minute as well. So Pete, he's currently in second now. Let's just see. Yeah, we can see Viking just up ahead, but Pete on the medium tyres with Bazza also on the medium tyres, desperately trying to catch up to the back of Viking. Now obviously the thing for Viking is, as soon as he goes onto the mediums, he's going to be even quicker. So just shows how well he's doing at the minute. Bazza though with the current fastest lap on 27.1, sitting in P3 at the minute, and they come around the final turn at turn 12 to yeah, there we go, start lap 4, and Bazza now right up and having a good sniff around the back end of Pete's car, and the dog decided to start barking as well, so apologies if you can hear that. Harry Poppins now up to 4th, Aussie Rooster in 5th, Phaser 6th, then DB, then Frowny, Scott, Enzo Jack, Thingamajig, he's decided to come in and get them tyres sorted. Dizzy Rip in 12th, Dizzy Rip already made a stop, so Viking still out in front and still looking good, although Pete is starting to reel him in a little bit now. So maybe Viking should be thinking about stopping while he's ahead. He may be thinking about where he's going to come out, and when he does stop, he doesn't want to get caught up in traffic, does he? If he's got the medium tyres on, he would desperately like a bit of space around him. So let's just have a look and let's follow Viking. I think he's going to carry on going. He is. So Viking's decided to stay out. You can see the cones are out. I think that's from Thingamajig rearranged them. It's not the workmen setting the stall out ready to dig the road up. It might be, I don't know. But I think it's when Thingamajig actually caught all the cones. So Viking then led almost from the start. He took the lead at turn 1. We're now on lap 5 of 18, and Pete is reeling him in now, and Pete on the medium tyres is starting to make them work. They are now up to the temperature he wants them, and it won't be long before he's going to get by Viking, although Pete has got to go on to the hard tyres, the same as Bazza and Harry Poppins, I think Aussie Rooster as well. So all of these guys have got to get onto the pit, and there we go. We can see Pete and Viking having a bit of a drag race now down the hill along this straight. They'll soon be going down the hill, should I say, into the chicane. I think Pete has just got his nose in front just before they get to the chicane, although Viking is fighting back. And yeah, good clean move from Pete. The medium tyres really coming into play there, so I think Viking's going to get swallowed up unless he's going in the pit. Yeah, he's had enough, and I don't blame him. So Viking, the race leader, sorry, the race leader from the start then is into the pit. Pete takes over then, leading this race. Harry Poppins now moves up into second. Remember, Harry Poppins started all the way at the back and now up into second. These guys really will want to be getting some distance between themselves and everybody else, especially Viking. Having Viking now, it will be out on the mediums. Let's just have a look to see where Viking is. Oh, he's still in the pit. Oh, he's on his way out now, but he's going to be all the way down in 10th or 11th. The other thing with this, when you stop for these pits, you've got to be very careful. Viking did a good job there, but it's very easy to pick up a 3-second penalty when you exit that pit lane. But Viking Daddy out now. I can't call him Viking Daddy. Viking out now on medium tyres, and all the guys ahead of him are going to have to pit. So it's going to be interesting, is it? Who's that got a penalty? Oh, it's DB. DB has picked up half a second. Now obviously the guys that started on the hard tyres who pitted after lap 2, they're going to be on mediums, but those mediums will start to wear now. The likes of Pete and Harry Poppins. Harry Poppins is going to be looking at challenging Pete for the lead of this race within the next few turns. So Pete struggling to hold on to it. It looked like Harry Poppins really putting the pressure on, and now goes in as they go down towards the S's. It is side by side. Harry Poppins just pulls out. Wise thing to do, I think. As we get down to the bottom of the S's then into turn 5. Careful not to pick up a penalty there. Bazza's in the mix as well. Bazza sitting in 3rd. Let's go on board with Harry Poppins, shall we, as we go around turn 6. Pete really using all of the track and a little bit more. Who's that? That's Bazza. Oh, we can see some headlights really, but Bazza it is that's pushing Harry Poppins along almost, and you can see he's trying to get in the mirrors of Harry Poppins. Harry Poppins in the slipstream of Pete. Is Pete going to defend this? Oh, Harry Poppins, I didn't think he was going to bother pulling out then at all. I thought he would just try and drive through poor old Pete, but no. Pete goes into the chicane ahead. So Harry Poppins is still going to keep putting the pressure on him. Now maybe make a move at turn 1. Let's have a look. Is Harry Poppins going to pull to the inside? He does. So into turn 1 they go, on into the brakes. Get around this corner. Don't let it drift too far to the left. Pete is still there, although it does look like Harry Poppins has finally got that move completed and takes the lead of this race. Very dark out there, isn't it? There is a bit of there is a few lamps, but they're not fantastic. Oh, you've got to get back on track before you hit that white line, and I think Harry Poppins might have just got away with that. So he moves up into the lead of the race, and he's looking to get away now. Pete, oh, unlucky for Pete. He's picked up half a second. Bazza trying to get up the inside there. I'm not even sure there was a gap. But Bazza was trying it, but he's got Pete and Aussie Rooster around him. He's not going to be too bothered actually though, because both Pete and Aussie Rooster have got half a second penalties to serve. So Bazza, the momentum should carry him through into second position, and it does. We are on lap of 8 of 18, soon to be starting lap 9, so we're about halfway through. You see the brake disc glowing red hot as the guys try and get these cars slowed down into some of these turns. I've been told it's £1,000 a corner for these brake discs, and they all have to be changed before the start of every race. So not a cheap sport, but these guys can afford it. So Pete in 3rd, Aussie Rooster 4th. Let's have a look where Viking is. So Viking's made his way up to 9th. He's not made as much progress as I thought he would actually. But as I've said before, remember the guys ahead of him have all got to stop. So Viking sitting in 9th. Thingamajig is in 10th. Now he has made a stop, so no more stops for Thingamajig. Phaser in 11th and Dizzy Rip in 12th. So Harry Poppins back where he likes to be. up at the front, leading this race, and he's opening up quite a gap actually back to Bazza. But Pete in third, Aussie Rooster now chasing Pete down. They're teammates, aren't they? Yeah, they're teammates. So whether there could be something to come across the radio about team orders, we don't know if there's team orders. They might hate each other for all we know, and we'll race to the bitter end, or Pete might just move over and let Aussie Rooster have a go at trying to catch up to Bazza. Then again, they might just sit exactly where they are and quite happily take third and fourth, which is still some decent points for the team. DB in fifth. Where's he going? He's just gone a little bit wide there as Scott went by. So DB in sixth. Brownie, we've got DB's teammate Brownie just coming along. Now I'm pretty confident that DB will move out of the way and let Brownie through, and that's exactly what's happened. But unfortunately he let Enzo Jack through as well. I'm sure that wasn't the plan. I think the plan would have been that DB let Brownie go through and then try to hold Enzo Jack up, but Enzo Jack was having none of that. He's going on through into seventh and is now chasing Brownie down. And it looked like Enzo Jack got a great turn into turn 7 then, which sets him up for a good exit. And he is tucked right up underneath Brownie now on this long back straight, just under 0.8 mile long straight. Well, it's not really a straight, but it is flat out all the way, as Enzo Jack tries to have a bit of a look at the inside, but you're not going to get it done there, says Brownie. Viking in ninth. Now he's starting to make a bit of headway. He's got DB in his sights. And there we go, Viking now up to 8th. Well, Harry Poppins is just off and running, and Baz has followed him, so there's no battles to be had there. Pete in third with Aussie Rooster, so this is as close as we're going to get to a battle, I think, at the minute. Just have a look. Scott, he's on his own. Frowny, he's not on his own, but a little bit of breathing space. Enzo Jack, though, tried to close that down. It looks like he has. Great couple of corners for Enzo Jack. And he's definitely in the slipstream, so we're going to stay with Enzo Jack. In fact, let's jump on board, shall we, with him? In fact, let's just sit in the passenger seat so we can see what he's doing. He's definitely in the slipstream. You can see how Frowny's really being pulled in. Enzo Jack pulls to the inside, so he's got the inside line going into this chicane. Frowny's still there. Oh, a fantastic switchback move from Enzo Jack. In fact, let's go back and have a look at that, shall we? Let's get the drone cam going, and yeah, great move, great racing between the two of them. So Enzo Jack onto the inside, Frowny trying to go around the outside. He's still there. See how Enzo Jack just a bit heavier on the brakes so that he can get that switchback move done and moves through into 6th. Brilliant racing from the pair of them, but a great move from Enzo Jack on the chicane. But Frowny, he was not going to give that one up easily. He's going to carry on going, and he's going to keep the pressure on. We're on lap 12 now, so over the next few laps we shall probably start seeing people coming in. Let's just have a look at the fuel. Well, there's plenty of fuel there. I think they're going to be alright. Well, I'm just looking at Harry Poppins' fuel anyway. He should be okay, actually. Tyres don't look too bad either. The front left has took more of a pounding, which it does on clockwise tracks, but he's going to be okay. So Harry Poppins will probably take this race as far as he can and pit at the end of lap 16, so he's got lap 17 and 18 to do on the hard tyres. That is probably the plan. Bazza in second, he's going to probably have the same sort of plan, same with Peter, so two Belgium guys in second and third. Aussie Rooster in fourth, yeah, so it'll probably be the same for all of these guys up at the top half of the table that haven't pitted yet. They're all probably going to come in at the end of lap 16 and just do the last two on hard tyres. Where is Viking? Remember, he was leading for about 5 or 6 laps at the beginning of this race on the hard tyres. He's now in 8, but knowing that a lot of the guys in front of him have got to use their pit stop. It's a pity we can't see the timings between the first and where Viking is at the minute. Pit stop is going to be around about sort of what, 45 seconds to 50, something like that seconds. Plus you've also got the danger of the penalty as you come out of the pits as well, so, and that's what Viking will be hoping for, that some of the guys pick up penalties when they do their pit stop. Let's see if we can find you a good old battle. And we might be struggling actually. Let's have a look. Scott, Enzo, Jack and Frowny for 6th and 7th. They've just gone through the chicane at 10A and 10B. Through turn 11 into turn 12 and then across the start finish line to start lap 14. Vikings, he's in 8th. He's not that far behind those two guys in front, to be honest. And he's lapping around about 126 and the fastest lap is 125, so he's only a second off the pace. So I'm expecting Viking to move up through the field when the pit stops start happening. DB unfortunately has picked up a penalty. Now then, his fuel light is flashing, which makes me think, is anybody else's fuel light flashing? So let's go back up to the top. No, Harry Poppins, he's on quarter of a tank, as is Bazza, Pete, Aussie Rooster, so I don't know what, DB, I think he must have a problem with his fuel tank. There must be a hole in it or something, the amount he's getting through. But he's going to have to pit at the end of this lap to get some fuel. And he'll change his tyres as well, obviously. But yeah, I'm surprised he's used so much fuel. Unless the others are fuel saving, but I don't know. So DB, we're just going to stick with DB as he goes down the hill into the chicane. I think he's going to have to come in. I'm not so sure he's going to get another lap now. I'm hoping he's noticed it. And there we go. Yeah, he sticks to the road, does he? Well, now that might well be a penalty as well. If you cross that solid yellow line as you're coming into the pits, then you end up with a penalty. So that's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. As Dizzy Rip now, he's going to move up into 11th. Harry Poppins just coming to the end of lap 15. I think he'll keep going still. He's got what, 50% wear on the inside, on the left tyre, sorry. That's the offside, isn't it? Oh yeah, Harry Poppins not interested in coming to the pits just yet. He's got a good gap back to Bazza in second, Pete in third, Aussie Rooster in fourth. These two just following each other round. Bit of lag going on there from Pete's car, but not putting Aussie Rooster off, I don't think, not that much. Scott in fifth. All very spread out now, aren't we? So we're going to have to be waiting for the pit stops to try and liven things up a little bit. Enzo in 6th with Frowny in 7th. Viking still in 8th. So yeah, we could do some pit stops, couldn't we? Try and get the guys a little bit closer. Thingamajig in 9th. Phaser, Dizzy Rip. His fuel light is now starting to flash as well. So maybe he's going to come in at the end of this lap or just follow him through. Well, actually, what I'm on about, he's just gone through, hasn't he? He's just done turn 1, so yeah, Dizzy Rip will definitely be coming in at the end of this lap. DB, he's been in, he's soon going to get lapped right now, and then Harry Poppins has come in as we predicted at the end of lap 16 on to lap 17, so the last 2 laps for Harry Poppins. Decides he doesn't need any fuel, so everybody on the medium tyres are in. Bazza, Pete, Aussie Rooster. Now then, we were interested in where Viking Daddy is. Viking Daddy. He's just gone through the chicane, through turn 11, down the hill and through turn 12. Now then, Pete and Aussie Rooster are still in the pit lane. Scott, Harry Poppins, Enzo Jack are all out. Let's just see where will Viking Daddy, you can just see the guys coming out. So Viking has just moved up into 7th. He's on the attack of Pete though, so this has squeezed everybody up, that pit stop. And Viking really pushing Pete along. Maybe Viking should have come in just a little bit earlier. But he's going to be challenging Pete all the way now. Now Viking on tyres that are up to temperature. They are mediums as well. Pete is on the hards. Bazza on the hards. Now Bazza didn't put any fuel in, so he's going to have to be careful. Frowny, he's on the mediums. Enzo Jack is on the mediums. Harry Poppins on the hards, and Scott. So Scott has managed to take the lead now. How did that happen? Now when they came out, oh, Scott just went by Harry Poppins as Harry Poppins came out of the pit, and Scott just managed to get ahead of Harry Poppins. So the earlier stop really paid off for Scott. He is on worn mediums, but worn mediums are going to be better than cold hard. So Harry Poppins now down into 2nd and playing catch up. So Scott, really, this is his to lose, to be honest. Like I say, he's on the better tyre. Although they are worn, they are up to temperature, and they are going to be better than cold hard tyres, which is what Harry Poppins has got on. Enzo Jack is in 3rd. He's on the mediums as well that are worn. Frowley in 4th. Bazza is 5th. Pete 6th. Still trying to hold off Viking. Viking desperate to get by Pete. In the slipstream then. Heading towards the chicane. Is Viking going to have a look at the inside of Pete, or is Pete going to be able to defend this chicane? But there goes Viking, just pulls out hard on the brakes. Great move from Viking to get himself up into P6 on the better compound tyres as well. So across the line then to start the final lap they go, and Viking, he's going to be sight set on Bazza, but I'm not so sure he's going to get close enough. Pete hasn't given this up either, has he? But Viking really will want to get closer to Bazza, although I think he may just run out of laps. As we're following Scott down the hill towards turn 6. Still out in front, leading from Harry Poppins. The fuel is going to get very close. He may just be finishing on fumes, but I think he's timed it to absolute perfection with the fuel. Harry Poppins is going to have to settle for 2nd, with Enzo Jack 3rd, and Frowny in 4th now then. Frowny could end up taking 3rd away now, and I'm conscious Scott is going to be finishing him, so we're going to have to come back because we need to see what's happening here as Frowny and Enzo Jack are going to go side by side. This is for a place on the podium. Frowney going all the way around the outside. Enzo Jack is now on the outside, so Frowney manages to hold on to that third position. Let's just follow Scott across the line. Scott takes the win, Harry Poppin second, and Frowney, after a fantastic piece of racing there into the chicane, gets on the podium just ahead of Enzo Jack in fourth. Basil will cross the line in fifth, Viking sixth, Pete seventh, Aussie Rooster eighth, Thingamajig, he's going to come across the line in ninth. Closely followed by Phaser in 10th. Dizzy Rip a little further. Well, Dizzy Rip's actually ran out of fuel, but that's why he's all the way down where he is. And DB, well, he could catch him. This is going to be an interesting run-in. So Dizzy Rip actually out of fuel and he's coasting. He's rolling down the hill towards the chicane. Dizzy Rip, foot to the floor. He can, DB can see Dizzy Rip. I don't know if he knows he's out of fuel, but he'll realise how quickly he's catching him. Now, can DB take 11 from Dizzy Rip? He is going to. Yes, he is. So DB comes across the line to take 11th away from Dizzy Rip, who ran out of fuel, and across the line. Well, if you've enjoyed these races, please remember to hit the like button. If you've not already subscribed, if you could do so, I would love you to do that. It really helps me out. Thank you very much for watching. I should catch you all next week. When where are we? We are at Suzuka next week, and I believe it is. It's going to be very dark and very wet and very slippery. So that is going to be a fantastic race. So don't miss it. I shall catch you all then.